Hi, and welcome back to Share Your Truth. This is episode 11, and we will be discussing being whole all by yourself. I'm Bridget Marie.
I'm Mika Means.
I'm Candice.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Raquel.
I'm Triana.
And I believe being whole by yourself, it just means that you should, because this is how I look at it. I feel like people think that someone else makes them whole.
Right.
They get in relationships because, oh, he makes me whole. And me as a married woman, I knew that my husband needed to be whole and I needed to be whole before we became one together. And I understood that fully. I understand that he don't make or break me. He adds to it. And once you realize that somebody adds to it, they don't take away. Like if they're gone, it doesn't mean that you're not whole. That is what really stuck out to me. And I understood it. I comprehended it, and I make sure that I'm always whole, mind, body, and spirit, with myself before I look at anything else. Now, some people feel like without makeup, they not whole. Without nails, they not whole. Without their hair done, they not whole. Without a bomb outfit, having name brand, that don't make you whole. It don't. Because if you get to a point to where God had to strip you of some stuff, like literally strip you of clothes, if he had to strip you of clothes, if he had to strip you of mental kind of things that you're thinking of, like if he had to strip you, could you ask yourself, am I still whole? And that's where you will come to grips with, am I whole or am I not? And how do you get to a place to wholeness? I feel like it's a whole lot of praying. A whole lot, Jesus. It's a whole lot of praying. And it's understanding that these things, tangible things, do not make me whole. If I don't have it today, if I don't have the best name brand things on, am I still who God created me to be? I am. If I don't have my hair done, am I still who God created me to be? If I don't have makeup on my face, if I don't have a man, am I still whole? Yes, I am. I should be, or I should feel that I am. So that's where my being whole come from. Because I feel like if you cannot say that about yourself, then you're not whole. And guess what? You're not ready to be in a relationship either.
I agree with that one. And that comes from a married woman, okay? But I agree with the whole, like you have to, some people, how can I put it? I'm not going to say that I feel like we were born whole, right? I feel like a baby is born whole. They're pure, they're born whole, but as you get older, things start falling off of you from, what your mama taught you, your granny taught you, or just growing up. And sometimes we lose who we are from environments and all of that. Because I know at a certain point, I didn't know me. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked. If somebody be like, what you like to do? I'd be like, it take me a while. I don't know if I like comedy. I don't know if I like romance movies, So as I got older, and I was in a relationship, because I was in a relationship very young. I was 17 when I got with my kid's father. I didn't know who I was. I was not whole. We wasn't supposed to be together, for one, because we was too young to even be doing the things that we was doing. But when we released from each other was when I became Mika. And I be so scared because I feel like I'm so whole. I don't care about a relationship. That's how scary it is for me, because I'm so whole. I know myself, because I've been single. I gave myself that time to learn myself and all of that, and I feel like you're not about to deter me from who or what I like to do or what you know what I'm saying? So I be so scared because I be feeling like I'm so whole that a relationship is not gonna make me whole. You like you said, you're supposed to add on to it, and it's supposed to be extra. So I don't know if I just haven't ran into somebody that was extra, but I be feeling like you not about to. No, I'm whole. So when a person leave, I be like, oh well. You know, so that's where the scariness comes for me, because like you said, you're supposed to be so whole that no matter if it's a relationship or whatever, you're supposed to be so comfortable with yourself. And it's like, now that I'm so comfortable with myself, I don't care about relationships like that. You know, so it'd be like, what I supposed to do? You know,
usually people get to that place and they're like, I'm ready for a relationship now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it'd be like the opposite. But to me, I feel like that's good, because God will show you, like, this gonna be your husband, and guess what? He gonna be whole.
Yeah,
all the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You for sure ain't gonna accept nothing less.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think God may have possibly shown me my husband. You just said that. I just brought something to me.
He showed you your husband.
I said possibly. I'm single, but possibly. Possibly. I don't know why that just stuck out to me when Bridget said that. But with me, I wouldn't say so I want to be married. I want a husband, but I don't think that I would look to my husband or to that relationship to make me whole. I, like you said, like I believe that it will only add to me, and that I had to get to the understanding of that, like because if I didn't have a relationship with God, or if I wasn't seeking God, I wouldn't understand that. So I wouldn't, know what you guys are talking about, or how you guys are feeling. I would say what I struggle with in a way, because I feel like my kids make me whole. Like I do. I feel like if I didn't have my kids, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I feel like they are literally and spiritually a blessing from God, because I feel like my kids are what made me start having a relationship from God. And that's something that I just hearing y'all talk, that's something I need to work with or work on, because God forbid, but if God was to strip me from my kids, I wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
Like, I would be so lost, like just thinking of that. So I wouldn't say it would only go with relationships, but with me being a mother, because now that I'm also thinking about it, I don't need being a mother, and that's not good. That's not good. So that just all connected.
That was good.
That is good. Because you really do have to, you really do have to ask yourself, like, and it's crazy that you just said that about your kids, because I just thought, like, God, like, my son only been here for 10 months. And, like, I don't know what life would be without him. But then I thought of this one girl, I don't even know her name, but her husband was stripped from her and her 2 kids. Yeah. And she's still moving. She's still glorifying God. And she's still, like, doing the things, being whole, to me, in my opinion. Like, when I don't know her, I don't see her on Instagram. But I feel like she still was able to, I could still maneuver. And I was like, God, like, please don't take my baby away or nothing like that. But that thought did cross my mind. Because I'm like, who was that? Abraham in the Bible? Yeah. Who had to give up his son. But in his mind, he's like, if God told me I got to give him up, as a sacrifice, I know God can give me back my son. He can raise him from the dead. And that's what I'm like, God, like, please don't take away my kids. But at the same time, if he did, I'm still whole. Yeah. And that is something crazy to say. It sounds crazy coming out even to me in my mind right now. It sounds crazy. But he's like, you still whole. You still who I created you to be. Yeah. So just think about that too, because that's heavy. That is
heavy. Being whole it takes, to me, I feel like to become whole, it takes a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, they leave one relationship and they go and they go and they seeking and they seeking and they don't stop. They just continue to be in a relationship after relationship, and I feel like you giving that same toxic energy that you have from this relationship over to the next, and on and on and on. Like, you need a long time. You gotta learn how to know what you like, know what you even want. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, we be just moving so fast, we don't even know what we want. We moving so fast with the marriage thing just to say that we married. Some people just jump into relationships just to say that they in a relationship. Some people get into relationships and be so unhappy But rather relationships, and I would be smiling on pictures, and after the pictures, we separated. We not even around each other. And I told myself, even with my child father now, I'm not faking nothing. I'm not smiling on no pictures, making it seem like we together. Nothing. And I'm dead serious, cause I've been there. I've been fake happy. And to me, I feel like I was raised to be fake happy. My mama raised me to act like I was happy. You get what I'm saying? And as I got older, I told myself, like, I've been faking happy my whole life. My mama trained me how to fake happy. She would beat me, put me on nice clothes, and I would be outside playing with a million bruises over me, but I would be playing like I'm happy. So I started realizing, like, I'm getting into fake happy relationships because that's what I was known to do. You get what I'm saying? I was known to do that. So now I'm with my kid's father, smiling on pictures, faking happy, until I really found what happy was. And I was like, I ain't never been happy in my life. I don't even remember as a baby, 4 years old, 5 years old, from when I could remember, I've never been happy in my life. My time that I've ever been happy, I was alone. I was single. I found happiness by myself. You get what I'm saying? So now I just be telling myself, I'm not faking happy. I'm not about to act like we in a relationship when we not. I'm not about to, for the social media, for the whole. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And guess what? We will never become whole by ourselves if we keep drowning ourselves with fake shit. If we keep drowning ourselves with fakeness, if we keep drowning ourselves with what others might think or the perception that we putting out to the world, or don't ever want to share our truth because the world gonna put a perception on me, we'll be faking and literally never whole with ourselves because we're lying.
That's deep.
Super.
And I think that's just being whole by yourself, like just you and God, because like you were saying, you weren't happy your whole life. And happiness is something that's temporary. It can be given, it can be taken away, it could come, it can go. But if you're whole all by yourself, your joy comes from the Lord. Nobody can take it. Nobody can give, nobody can give it. The only person that can give it is God. The only person that can take it is God. And with the joy that you have, no matter what you may come across or what you may go through, that joy remains. So that was a good example. Like with you saying, you wasn't happy your whole life, but you just have to get, and of course we're seeing this now, like, or understanding this now as we are adults. You have to be whole by yourself. So when your happiness or whatever come and go, you're not bothered by it.
Right.
Like, it's just, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. I just been soaking up like what y'all been saying. I'm trying to think. To be whole for me, it always was the picture of the marriage and the kid and the 6 kids.
6 kids?
The 6 kids in the house and the home.
Okay.
And so as I got older and as I'm approaching these ages that I continually talk about, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not happening yet. Okay, I wanted to be married. I went through the process of getting married, and the pastor was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I mean, I was so pissed. I was beyond pissed. But God saved me. Because if I hadn't got in that marriage, because I wasn't, a lot of people, they go to just the court and get married. And I'm like, God, I know that you have ordained this person to be over me spiritually. So when my pastor said, no, I'm not marrying you, I was pissed. I was like, so you just gonna have me just, be out here just doing whatever? Pretty much, that's what you're telling me. And she's like, nah, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that this is not what God is saying at this time and at this moment. So I kept doing what I wanted to do. My daughter was birthed, and now I'm a mama. So, okay, now I'm not a married mom or whatever. And as the years trickle on and continue, I'm not married at this moment. But then God had to show me, like, the picture that you had is not the picture that you got. And I'm going to make you whole through that.
Wow.
But it got to a point where long story short, my baby is a miracle baby. Because the doctors told me I would not be able to conceive on my own. So I'm just out here like, I can't have babies anyway. Boom. I have a baby. So I became like Hannah, thankful to God for my baby. But I started to idolize her a little bit. To where if you wanted to see me act like a puppet, say something about my baby or say something about my parenting, I'm going to lose it. But I had to get into the point of that as giving my daughter back to God because He gave her to me freely. So even with that, I know that the title mom does not define me and it doesn't make me whole. Because like you guys have said, God gives, God takes away. So I never wanted to be in a position where I idolized my daughter because I never wanted her to be taken from me because I idolized her. So going through these years of trying to be whole, I got into a space of, okay, so who am I? And allowing God to rebuild me. And it's been some physical things, whether it be my hair, cutting it all the way off to where I had a fade. You couldn't have told me I ever would have did that. But I was able to smile with makeup, without makeup, and know like I am beautiful, I am smart, I am worth it, I am enough. So God has just been working with me with that because, and it still is. I don't know where I got this idolization of marriage from because my mom never really cared. Even though her and my dad been married for almost 30-some years, it's never been something she put in my mind like you gotta have a man or you gotta have a husband. But in my mind, the completion is marriage and family. So to not have that made me feel like I was not whole. But God has just been working in me to be able to show me in ways where I am whole and how He's working through me. And the person that He's making me to be is going to be complete for that husband. And if He chooses to make me a eunuch, well, then that's just it. But, I mean, a eunuch, you know, the people that be in the ministry that ain't married. But I truly believe that there's a husband out there for me. God, please. But yeah, so to be whole is very important because you can't, even being single, you may depend on your friends to be like, oh, you know, we're together. But what happens when your friends don't show up? What happens when your sisters don't show up? What happens when your friends don't? I mean, your parents, what happens when they're not able to be there? You have to be able to stand on your own too and be confident, whether it's with makeup like Bridget said or without. Like God gave me a word in December and He's just like, okay, scale it back a little bit. And I don't wear a lot of makeup. It may look like it, but it's just a little brow here, a little lash, like, but a little lip, you know what I'm saying? But He's like, okay, chill on it. So I started to just go out barefaced, and a lot of people didn't even recognize that I didn't have no makeup on.
Right.
And then God is like, I'm just reminding you that no matter what you have on, no matter where you at, you still whole. So
That is good. My story is very similar to Kayla's. Like, I thought that oneness and wholeness and unity included relationship. Like, it had to be two people coming together to make the one. But I was one that went from relationship to relationship, but I never heard of oneness, never heard of wholeness at that time at all. So it just seemed normal for me. Like, I was just living my life. But then I later realized that it was something that I felt was missing. And, you know, I think the biggest understanding is wholeness has to start with God. Like, it has to be you finding that purpose that He created you, finding that understanding of, you know, what it is that He has for you that gives you the understanding of wholeness. Because when we look at it from a worldly perspective, it does not make any sense. Because everything needs to be mixed with something. When you go to work, you need a whole team. When you're creating something, you need a whole group of people. So to have an understanding that God says, I created you to be whole by yourself, that just has to be you and God to understand it. There's no, you know, and even now, like Bridget was saying, like, to think about me without my daughter, like, what mother carries a child for 9 months, have the child, and say, well, God, if you have to.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is hard to even speak, but that is the way of the Lord. Like, that's how He created us. So I am working on me, and I think that's what allows me to be patient with me not being, you know, married and things like that, because I desire marriage now. I didn't in the past, but now that I understand marriage, I want it. But God is still working on me. So I'm learning how to still be whole, and it has to be outside of everything that I thought it was. Like, there's still some things that God is working on, obviously, when it comes to me understanding what it means to come together with somebody, but I can't depend on that person or that man to make me happy. And I think I was looking for happiness to come from another person, but it cannot be so. So if you looking for somebody to make you happy, put that smile on your face, you're gonna be disappointed.
And what about those? What about the ones that you think that you could make happy? You could make
Build a
change
bear
or something. Yeah.
That's the part where we gotta stop that too.
I be trying to save them.
You be
I be trying to
well,
save
baby,
them.
if
For
he
real.
would be,
Seriously.
he'd do better. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
ministerial
Maybe if
assignment that goes
if I
around
get
like
him
that.
he'll do better. Or he'll change because he with me, or I could get him to change that. No, you can't.
And what's crazy is Mika, when she said fake happy, I'm really strong. I'm the strong friend. Like, I'm the person that people come to, and I keep it real. But when I'm in a relationship, you'll never know what goes on behind closed doors. It could be bad, and I just be sitting there like, it'll get better. How you doing? We doing great. Everything is cool. And then when everything is done, and I actually tell you what's going on, you like, what the heck? You did not say nothing that was going on. And I'll just be sitting there because I'm like, I want it to work. I'm going to try to make it work till the end. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give up. And I'm going to keep fighting to the end to make the relationship work, because I don't want to have to go back out there and find nobody else.
I think
I would have been fake.
wrong.
But the truth is, I would have been fake and happy. If Pastor had married me, I would have been fake and happy. I really would have been sitting there like, okay, everything is fine. We married and we good. I would have been divorced. And that would have been a deeper depression. Okay. Thank you, Jesus, for saving my life.
But I think this is how I think. This is from a married person, okay? That you have to understand that marriage is not perfect. That you are going to have drama within your marriage.
Right.
You are going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. Before I came to shoot here, me and my husband got into it over the filming. For filming, Jesus. But, and then, this is the thing. I feel like my position as the wife, and it could be him as the husband too, my position is to be on my knees in prayer about whatever it is. So for the majority of the time when we're going through something, when we're going through a test, whatever you want to call it, a trial, whatever, a storm, I don't tell nobody. I tell me, and it's crazy because I'm about to come out with 2 books. One is going to be for married people, and one is going to be for unwed people, right? It's 2 prayer books. In that book, in the introduction, I tell you that I don't tell people what's going on in the book. And it's not I'm faking it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not telling you until I come out the storm. When I come out the storm, I'll let you know. But when I'm in the storm, I ain't telling.
But it's different. Wait, pause, because it's different when the marriage is anointed. When the marriage is anointed and y'all supposed to be together, you don't need to. Y'all don't need to. But I'm saying
So
the person, because the person that I wanted to marry with, I knew we was unevenly yoked. I knew it because when I came to his house, I would have to go in there and anoint the space. While he lived in Long Beach, while he was looking for a parking space, I would be in there, no lie, with anointed oil, praying over the house, allowing those spirits to get up out the house. Why am I in a relationship with somebody and I have to do that every day and night? Why? That's unevenly yoked. Different.
Okay.
And then to me, I feel like you're not unhappy. You're not faking happy. Like you said, it's
a disagreement is a disagreement.
It's only a disagreement.
But if unevenly yoked, it's totally different.
It's totally different. When you walking into the house, it's not like that.
That's why I said, let me say it again.
Yeah.
We was unevenly yoked, and even to this day, we are still on a different space. I was in his life to give him God and to show him God, and I did that, but I also did some other things. Okay, so don't be trying to change your minister assignment, okay? Don't change your ministerial assignment to be trying to yoke up with the person you're sent to save, okay? Okay. See, pass him to a man who could pour into him, pour some God into him.
You do that, right? You've done that before?
Yeah.
You think you could save somebody and change them to make it? Yeah.
Take your cape off, baby.
I did that.
Cape off.
And I'll be like, Lord. And I heard God's voice. Remember?
You You be sitting there like, what did you do? Now look, God sitting up there like, I did not say that. I didn't say that.
God was like, that was not what I said.
Because when I look back, I'm like, when I look back, because I had told Pastor, I'm like, Pastor, can you come to his house and just pray? And she's like, you doing that already. And then now that I'm thinking back, I'm like, why was I even in my space? Why would I even sleep in a bed or sleep in a household that has them type of demons flying around it? It's a word. Can't use it on tape, but it's a word for that. It's a word for that. I'll tell you later what the tape is.
I know too.
That's crazy.
It's a song for that.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like I'm still. I agree with you as far as I found my wholeness. I'm still seeking it as I became single. It wasn't in a relationship. Now I've been in relationships. I did the hopping around, but that's just life as well, and not having a full understanding of what I want, what I need, and what I'm even doing, hopping around in these relationships. So I've been there, I've done that. And it wasn't until I became single that I found my most happiness. It wasn't until I became single that it's just, I had time to just think about myself. And I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm just still in that process of allowing God to just show me so that I can be complete and move on to whatever it is that's next for me, whether it's a relationship, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm still learning. I'm gonna say that, and I'm happy where I'm at. I'm like you again, where it's like, okay, God, don't let me get a little. I'm too comfortable being single at this point. Like I'm like, man, I hope I don't stay here too long, because I don't want nobody in my space. And y'all remember it was a time where I couldn't get single. And I was
my goal for this year is to be single.
We was one into another year, and our pastor had asked us like, "What's your goal?" And mine was like, "I just want to be single. Like I just want to stay single." And it was so hard for me to do that. And now that I finally am single, I don't want nobody to mess that up. And I mean, I be meeting people, and they just fall in love too fast. And I thought that I fell in love fast.
We spirit sisters.
But like, I just meet the people that just be, wait a minute. But I mean, I used to be that person that I did like relationships. But now that God has sat me down, I'm single, I'm like, don't even come near me with that. If you talk about love, I don't want to be near you. I'm talking about relationship. It's literally, I'm just not in that space right now. I feel being in a relationship, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of focus and energy, and I'm at the space where I don't have to give that right now. I have to focus on other things in my life. I have to focus on myself. I have to focus on my dreams, and I'm constantly. And I was in that process of wanting to save everybody else. Oh, let me motivate this person. Let me do this for them. Let me love them. Like, I need that for myself. That same energy that I was giving to relationships, the same focus. I was like, God, I want to be in a space where I could put that into myself and save myself. So I'm still in the process and enjoying the process of becoming whole all by myself.
All right, my encouraging word would be knowing yourself. Find out what makes you tick. Turn every title off, whether you're a mom, you could be a worker, a pastor, whoever you are. Turn all of those things off. Get to know who you are as yourself. So, for example, who is Raquel? What is Raquel like? What does Raquel dislike? What does Raquel need to thrive? What am I doing when I feel good? What am I doing that makes me feel bad? And figure those things out and start to balance your life accordingly.
That was good.
I would say wholeness has to start with you and God. And if He's missing, you won't feel the wholeness. You won't even fathom the idea of what it means to be whole. And just ask Him. If you don't know where to start, ask Him where to start and allow Him to speak to your spirit. But wholeness is possible, and don't be ashamed if you're just in the process of it. And if you enjoy it, that's okay too. Just know that your wholeness does not take away from any situation or any relationship. It's to add to it.
That was good. know that you are a masterpiece all by yourself. So that means that God created you whole all by yourself. When you stepped into this world, you were by yourself. Even if you are a twin, you came in by yourself. And that means that you whole. You was already whole. You don't need a man to complete you. You don't need anything really to complete you tangibly. Only you and God. And when God tell you that you ready, then you ready. So get ready for what he has for you. But until then, do what Kel said. Get alone. Know yourself. Be true to yourself. Be authentic with your own self. Say what you like. Say what you dislike. And that will carry over into your wholeness and your relationship with God.
That was good. Y'all got some good ones. I would say, remember the things that you prayed to get out of. I seen a post on Instagram or something. I was like, I pray to God that I don't end up in situations I used to pray to get out of. Right? So that stuck to me because I remember I used to pray out of situations.
Right.
And then I'm telling myself, like, God, don't put me back into nothing that I prayed to get out of. Right? But then I found myself in something that I prayed to get out of. And then I'm praying to get out of this one. But it's the same situation. So you be mindful and take notes of what you praying to get out of and don't go back to it. When you see a sign, and pay attention to those small red flags, because those small red flags turn into big red flags.
Okay. And potholes.
You know, them small red flags in the beginning where you like those be them same big ones that you gotta smack. You get what I'm saying? So pay attention to that and always understand what you praying to get out of and never put yourself back into it.
That is good.
That was real good. You spoke right to me because I'm in that situation.
Them small red flags.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for that. My encouraging word would be just to trust the process. Don't be in such a rush to have everything. We want marriage so bad, we want the kids so bad, we want the dream job so bad, and we try to rush it and go before God or just go before anything. And we begin to lose sight of ourselves, especially when it don't happen. We begin to lose sight of ourselves when we see other people attaining those same things that we're so in a rush to get. So I would just say trust the process and allow things to come naturally. If you don't have it right now, just keep working at whatever it is that you're trying to get, and in time it will happen. And yeah, trust the process, enjoy the process, and know that everything that's meant for you will be yours in due time.
That's good.
Okay.
I agree with Triana where she said that it starts with you and God. Like I wholeheartedly believe that your wholeness starts with you and God, because if you are whole, you don't have to go anywhere else to seek the void that is there. You don't have to, turn to your kids or turn to your marriage or whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, everything that you go through or that you touch or every title that God allows you to have, it's to bring glory to his name. So I would say just spend that time with God, like get to know you and find your wholeness in God. That's something I need to do, because Lord knows if my kids get stripped from me, woo Jesus, I'm not gonna be able to handle that. So that is so deep. Like that is. Woo Jesus.
This is Share Your Truth.